Good day. Executive officials, Administrative Council, Management Committee, and instructors of BulSU State University. Welcome to our 2 hours webinar entitled Computer Literacy. Before we start, please fill out the registration form bit.ly/reg_CL. Thank you. Our resource person for today's webinar is a faculty instructor from BulSU State University, under the College of Industrial Technology, EEC Department. Currently taking his master's degree in Information Technology. A certified Microsoft Innovative Educator Master Trainer, and nominated as a Microsoft Innovative Expert 2019 to 2020. He is also a Network Security Expert Level 1 and 2. He already pitched in different universities and colleges in Luzon, and be the youngest member, and Executive Committee of Resource Person Group International, Philippines Branch. Also he is a currently Ambassador of T4, Global by Design, Teacher Wellbeing, Teacher Leadership, Teacher Technology, and Teacher Collaboration. Please welcome, Mr. John Michael D. Calazan.
Okay, so magandang araw po, Bulacan State University. Dito po ako ngayon para mag-talk regarding sa computer literacy. So my name is John Michael Calazan, faculty instructor, BulSU, under the College of Industrial Technology, EEC Department, a Microsoft Innovative Educator Master Trainer. So today, we will discuss the basic about computer, the different types of input devices, output devices, storage devices, and syempre po, yung pagkaka-basic ng computer literacy. So I hope you will enjoy this webinar and hope tapusin niyo po at tiyak po na meron kayo mapupulot na knowledge. So let's start. So what will be talking this session? So ano yung mapapag-aralan po natin ngayong mga oras na ito hanggang mamayang oras? So we will discuss the different type about computer literacy. Tulad po na sabi ko kanina, the input devices, output devices, storage devices, at yung iba pa pong matututunan natin sa paggamit ng computer. Especially yung mga basic knowledge pa lang po sa paggamit ng computer. So ito na po yung time para kahit paano meron pa kayong matutunan in terms of computer o paggamit ng computer. So, what is a computer? An electronic device for storing and processing data, typically in binary form, according to instruction given to its a variable program. So, sa madaling paraan, ito po yung mga ginagamit natin sa mga offices, departments, mga personal use computer, in processing document, presentations, and so forth. So napakadami po ng gamit ni computer. So especially sa ating mga activities, laboratories, examinations, processing of data, kahit sa department meron pong computer. So hindi lang naman computer, meron din tayong tinatawag na mga laptop, Chromebooks, and etc. Pero pag sinabi natin computer, pasok na kayo sa ating isipan, a computer is meron tong monitor, may CPU, may keyboard, may mouse. Pero ano nga ba yung tawag doon? Hindi naman porket sinabing mouse, mouse na lang yan. Sinabing keyboard, keyboard na lang yan. Or CPU, CPU na lang yan. So ang isang computer, meron po siya mga different parts. So today, yun nga po yung isa-isay natin, yung input and output devices muna. So basically, computers should have the following supporting devices in order to function according to the user's desired task. So, we'll discuss the input devices first, then followed by the output devices. So, input device allow the users to communicate with the computer. So, communicate. So, input. So, ito yung word na sasabi natin na nanggagaling sa isang person or sa user. So, input devices comes in variety of forms and function depending on its purpose to the navigation content, creation, documentation processing, and the like. So, halimbawa, nag-type tayo sa keyboard. So that is an example of input, and the keyboard is the input devices. Ginalaw natin yung mouse. So, nagkaroon ng reaction. So, the input device, the mouse, then gumalaw yung mice, so yung input na yon ipaprocess. Then magkakaroon ng output devices or output. So, what is output devices? An output device takes binary information, ones and zeros, from the computer and converts it into a form that is easily understood by the user. So si computer po, ang ginagamit lang po niya is na language is ones and zeros. Then kino-convert, then nagkakaroon ng output. So ngayon, punta tayo sa mga input devices. So input devices. The following are devices that are used to generate data electronically via physical hardware coming or from the interaction provided by the user of the computer. So user, tayo yun. So we will use the computer or we will input something in the computer using the input devices. So what are the example of input devices? So kauna-unahan pong possible na example dito is keyboard. So what is keyboard? Keyboard are typically used for creating text documents and emails. So yan po yung kadalasan nakikita natin, mayroong mga letters, numbers, symbols, F1 to F12, different buttons na nasa harap natin when we will use computer or laptop. In some instances, it can be used as navigational control. For example, sa PowerPoint, nakita niyo po siguro sa inyong mga keyboard yung mga arrow keys. Merong up, down, left, right. Yung iba po, ginagamit ito sa paglaro, sa mga games. Meron naman po ditong numpad. So, numpad used for computing. So, meron tayo dyan number na 1 to 10, plus, minus sign, multiplication sign, etc. So, yun lang po yung basic sa pagsabating keyboard. So, ayan po example lang keyboard. And then, kung wala ka man keyboard, kasi minsan natin inaasahan na talaga walang keyboard or not functioning yung keyboard, sa computer po ay merong setting for virtual keyboard. So, ang gagawin lang po dyan, just search the on the search bar, on the Windows, type virtual or on-screen keyboard. So, pag lumabas po yung on-screen keyboard, click lang po. Then wait po, ayan na po. So, meron na po tayong virtual keyboard. So, in case na hindi gumagana ang keyboard, you can use the on-screen keyboard. So, close ko lang po Then the next one, ito pa, keyboard pa po. Keyboard has a distinctive pattern of character distribution since the moment it has been invented. So siguro napapansin niyo po, sorry for my term, meron tayong tatawag ng mga keyboard warriors, bakit mabilis mag-type. So meron po tayong pattern in using the keyboard. So in order to effectively use your keyboard, please refer to the figure on the right for the proper hand and finger configuration in using your computer keyboard. So mapapansin niyo po sa right side ng aking monitor, nakikita niyo po yung sample or yung picture related po sa paggamit ng keyboard. So left hand keys and right hand keys. So meron na rin pong mga color pattern. So si red, si orange, yellow, green, and gray. So yung gray nasa po space bar lang. Then yung blue, ayan po, yung violet, the pink, and yung light pink pa po. So, kung gusto niyo pong matutunan, mabilis mag-type, alam ko sa mga programmers, sa mga taga-CIT and CICT, siguro yung mga taga-CS din po, meron po dyan mabilis mag-type. Kasi, sa paggamit ng user, sa paggamit ng keyboard, sila po ang kadalasan, especially mga students natin doon, yung mga kakaroon ng laboratory. Next, pointing devices or sabihin natin yung word na mouse. Mouse na device po, hindi po yung mouse na tumatawid dyan sa tabi-tabi. So what are the pointing devices? Or what is a pointing devices or a mouse? So the mouse is used to navigate the graphical user interface. So yung mouse natin sa mga PC, so tayo yung user, pag na-try natin ginalaw yan, mag-process, and then mag-output sa ating monitor na gumagalaw yung mouse. So pag hindi na-respond yan, ibig sabihin may problem yung mouse. So dati po, marami pong types of mouse bago dumating sa kasalukuyan. So dati meron po tayong mga marble, yung mayroon pa pong jollen sa loob. Siguro yung iba nating mga faculty na abutan pa po yun. Kadalasan pag nasisira, kinukuha yung jollen sa loob. Ngayon, meron na po tayo tinatawag na wireless mouse or wired mouse. Meron pa pong powered by Bluetooth or powered by Wi-Fi. So sa laptop naman po, meron pa tayong tinatawag na touchpads to provide built-in keyboards and mouse features. Actually, sa touchpad po, sa laptop, karaniwan nyo po yung nakikita yung parang square screen na maliit sa baba. Pero actually, you can put pa rin po ng wired mouse or wireless mouse. Then ngayon po, meron na pong feature na si cellphone po mismo natin is pwedeng i-connect sa ating mga laptop or sa smart screen or smart TV, pwede na po siya maging pointing devices and also a keyboard. So ngayon talaga, technology innovate. So marami ng application na nade-develop na pwedeng magamit in a literacy or in digital literacy. So sample po tayo ng mga mouse. Ayan po, and the touchpad. So next, the next one is scanners. So ano ba yung sinawag na scanner? From the word scan, so nag-i-scan. So scanners is a sample also of input devices. Karaniwan ginagamit po ito sa mga offices, pag nag-i-scan ng mga document. Dati po, ang mga scanners is nakahiwalay sa mga printer. But nowadays, may mga labas na po na printers na 3-in-1. Merong print, merong Xerox, and yun nga po, meron na pong scanner. So, as a glass type, flat lang po siya na glass. Then, when you click the on or the start of scan, may ilaw po siya. And remember, always close the scanner kasi po nakakasira or nakakasakit po yung ilaw nun sa ating mga mata. So, scanners, kung sabi niya, mas madali siyang paliwanag na from, paano ba yung term? From a hard copy to a soft copy. So, PDF style or Word style, just scan and it will convert. So this device digitizes an image or a document. A photograph or document is placed on the flat glass surface and the scan head then moves under the glass. Okay? Okay? So the next one is scanner pa rin po. The digitization of image is stored as a file that can be displayed, printed, emailed, or altered. So ngayon po kasi meron na po mga scanners na pag in-scan nyo, pwede nyo pong isave as a PDF or save on your flash drive or when you scan, pwede na po agad i-email or mas tawag sa word na fax or altered. Okay? So, yan, sample lang po ng scanner. Minsan, meron po yung mga sa mga Xerox machine. Next, touch screen. These input devices have touch or pressure-sensitive screens. So, kadalasan ang sample of touch screen ay ating mga mobile phones. So, mga Android phone, yung mga Apple or iPhone. And then karamihan po yung mga kiosk screen. Halimbawa po sa 7-Eleven, yung sa ordering po sa mga McDo ngayon, and tsaka sa Jollibee. So, once you click, ayun, magre-respond siya, then it will process. So, the computer received the instructions specific to the place on the screen that the user touches. So, ayan po yung sample. Meron din po pala sa Capitol, yung parang touchscreen sa gilid malapit sa Office of the Governor. Okay. The next one is a digicam or a camera. These input devices capture the images and videos that can be stored, displayed, printed, or altered. So, ayan po example. Karaniwan po ngayon na nakikita natin mga magaglalakihang camera or tinatawag na DSLR ay yung mga video camera na gamit sa mga media. The next one is a webcam. Ito po, sigurado familiar po kayo sa webcam. Webcam, kadalasan natin ginagamit sa ngayon lalo at gagamit natin sa parating na semester. If we will use the blended learning mode, so webcam, we will use it for these devices are video cameras that can be integrated into a computer or they can be external. They use or they typically use for video conferencing or to stream live video into or onto the internet. So, tulad mo ngayon, yung webinar na to, ang gamit ko po ay isang webcam, then it will capture my me or my presentation and also me to present on a monitor. So, yun lang po siya. Typically used for video conferencing. And yun nga, webinars. So, example of webcam. So, the next one is facial recognition scanners. So, pag sabi natin facial recognition scanner, kadalasan ginagamit po yan sa mga biometrics. Pero sa BulSU po, ang gamit po natin ay fingerprint scanner. Na sa ibang bansa, meron pa po yung sa mga tongue or eye scanner. So, these biometric input devices identify a user base their unique facial features for attendance or para mabuksan yung mga lock, mga pinto na mga... Actually, meron din po mga card na scanner na pag ni-scan po, then pwede ka makapasok. So, kung wala kang card, you cannot go. Or hindi ka may makapasok. Kumbaga, it will decline. So, mag-aantay ka pa ng mga ibang person with ID card na pag ni-scan or RFID para makapasok. Ayan po. So, facial recognition scanner. Okay. So, next. So, tapos na po tayo sa input devices. So, we will discuss the output device. Ano-ano ba yung mga different types of output devices? So, the following are devices that are used by the computer in order to display, produce concepts processed by the central processing unit or the CPU with the support of the other internal and external computer parts. So, kung sabi ng output, naglalabas ng ginawang process. Halimbawa, nag-type ako sa keyboard, then keyboard, keyboard is an input devices, then it will pass by the CPU. Saan siya mag-output? So, sa monitor. So, number one example output device is a monitor display. Most monitors use one of the three types of technology, LCD, LED, or OLED. Hindi ko na po sinama yung CRT kasi kumbaga phase out na po siya. Okay, so karaniwan po kasi ngayon, ang ginagamit na lang po ay LCD. So the liquid crystal display or LCD has two polarizing filters with a liquid crystal solution between them. An electronic current aligns the crystals so that the light can pass through or not pass through, creating the image. So yung ginagamit niyo po ngayon is example of monitor display, yung mga naka-computer and laptop. The next one is printers. So the figures show a variety of printer types today. Printers may be wired, wireless, or both. So meron tayo dito example ang inkjet printer. Yung ginagamit po karaniwan sa mga offices. Impact printers ginagamit sa mga karaniwan sa cashier. 3D printer. So 3D printer, kasalukuyan po siyang paparating pa lang sa industry pero may nabibili na po ito mga mura. So kung gusto nyo gumawa ng mga cube, ng mga figures, so you can use the 3D printer. And the thermal printer karaniwang ginagamit sa mga groceries. So thermal printer use thermal paper. They use different technology to create the image you see. All printers requires printing materials such as ink, toner, liquid plastic, or etc. So ink, yung ginagamit ko sa inkjet printer. Pag sinabi namang toner, ginagamit po karaniwan sa mga Xerox machine. Liquid plastic, gamit po siya sa 3D printer. And yun nga po sa thermal printer, ang ginagamit po ay thermal paper. And a method to place it accurate on the paper, extrude it into the desired shape. Okay. All printers have hardware that must be maintained. Most printers also have software in the form of driver that must be kept up to date. So siguro karaniwan po ngayon, yung magamit na Windows 10, karaniwan ng mga printer is plug and play. Pero yung iba, meron pong patangay na mga CD for installation of the driver or for the installation of the software of the scanner or the printer. Then you will install it to use the printer. So ngayon po, ang nagka-top brand po ng mga printer is Epson, Canon, Brother, HP sa Philippines. So meron pong konting tip. If you will use Canon, maganda po yung print niya, yung ink. Pero minsan, madalas po masira ang cartridge. If you will use Epson, hindi sirain ang cartridge, mahal ang ink, pero good quality. So, I suggest if you can use Epson. Pero actually, ito po, wala po itong bayad na pagpapakita ko or paano ba, pag bibigay ng tip ko ano yung dapat niyang bilhin. Kumbaga suggestion lang po ito. So, example of devices pa rin po tayo. The next one is speakers. So, speakers. Speakers are a type of auditory output devices. So, produce sounds. So, kadalasan ginagamit sa mga concerts or presentations. Most computer or mobile devices have audio support, either integrated into the motherboard or on an adapter card. Audio support includes ports that allow input and output audio signals. The audio card has an amplifier to power headphones and external speakers. So, yan po yung karaniwang brand po ng mga speakers na nakita natin is Pioneer, Boss, then, ayan, Sennheiser. Meron pa po yung mga iba pa pong brand na. Another type of audio devices is headphone. So, kanina, di ba mayroong speaker, meron po siya iba pang part na headphone. Output din po siya ng sounds. Then, meron po tayong tatawag na earphone, earbuds, airpods. So, type of speakers. So, headphones, earbuds, and the earphones found in headset or all auditory output devices. This may be wired, wireless, some are Wi-Fi powered, or Bluetooth enabled. So, ganoon lang din po, may mga brand po. Meron pong tayong JBL, PNG, yung Apple earbuds, MI AirDots, etc. Okay. So, let's discuss the basic internals. The following are the basic parts of a computer that most viewers need to know in order for them to understand the usual operation a computer do while assisting them in their work. Kumbaga, tingnan natin ano yung mga nagpa-process. Once we input in the keyboard, it will process and output in our monitor. Once we navigate the mouse, it will process and output in our monitor. So, tingnan natin ano yung mga parts na nagpa-process. Or yung mga basic internal na nag-ooperate kasama ng CPU para magkaroon tayo ng output sa ating monitor. So, this is a view of a typical computer motherboard or MOBO. Sneak peek of the one responsible for doing your presentable work actually. So, para makita natin yung ano yung laman ng motherboard at ano yung tawag doon. So, meron po dito yung RAM slot, the internal USB, USB stands for Universal Serial Bus. Okay, iba po ang USB, iba ang flash drive. Flash drive, yun po yung hawak natin, hindi po yung tinatawag na USB. Ang USB po ay yung pinakasinasaksakan. Then chipset, the BIOS, expansion slots, kung saan nakasaksak yung mga video card, sound card, NIC card. Siyempre yung CPU socket, pinaka-importante, kasi dyan yung central processing unit or yung processing chip, yung mga Intel and AMD, and so on and so forth. So let's start. So central processing unit or CPU. So ayan po ang example, yung Intel or AMD. Okay, the central processing unit CPU is responsible for interpreting and executing your commands or our commands. It handles instructions from the computer, other hardware such as keyboard and software. Halimbawa, yung mouse, nag-navigate ka, nag-click ka ng Microsoft Word. So, magdidikta siya sa CPU na kailangan buksan niya yung Microsoft Word. So, tatakbo si RAM para magkaroon ng memory. Then, tulad sabi, RAM po is a volatile memory. So, pag binuksan yun, mag-open siya. So, magkakaroon ng output sa monitor. Keyboard, nag-type ako. So, an input, then process, nagkaroon ng output, nag-type sa screen. Okay, sa speaker, nag-play ako ng sounds, click ko yung mouse, ginamit ko yung mouse to click music file. Then nag-play. So, nagkaroon ng output. The CPU interprets the instruction and output the information to the monitor or perform the requested task. Okay. So, types of CPU sockets. So, meron po tayo natawag na una is the pin grid array type. Actually, hindi na po kadalasan to, pero mas maganda pa rin malaman nyo pa rin yung types of CPU socket. Okay, has pins made of an ounce of gold in order to accumulate electronic data fast in a contact via motherboard. So, ayan po example ng pin grid array type. So the next one is the LAN grid array type. Has flat receptors made out of an ounce of gold, which transcend electronic data from grid array embedded in the motherboard. So ayan po siya. Yung gold. Dalas sa pag binuksan niyo po yung CPU niyo, then tinanggal niyo po yung parang nakaharang sa pinaka-CPU chip. So, makikita niyo po doon yung mga sasabi natin na LAN grid array type o yung pin grid array type. Next, ventilating devices. So, pag sabi ventilation. So, possible mapapasok sa inyo yung salitang word or yung word na mouse or heatsink. So, cooling systems. Computer are kept cool using active and passive cooling solution. So, meron po tayong passive cooling or the heatsink and active cooling for the case fan. Pero ngayon, meron na pong gumagamit ng mga liquid cooling, yung mga high-end computers. Active solutions required power, while passive solutions do not. So, si fan po, para active cooling, so, kailangan ng power para gumana. Si heatsink is a passive cooling, so hindi niya kailangan ng power para gumana. And then, yung cooling po, na ibig sabi ko kanina, yung liquid cooling. So, liquid po is kailangan po siya ng active cooling kasi once na ginamit nyo po, nun lang tatakbo yung para siyang ikot in between sa mga high-end computers. So, passive solutions for cooling usually involve reducing the speed at which a component is operating or adding heat sinks to computer chips. A case fan is considered as active cooling. The figure shows example of passive and active cooling solution. So, yun nga po, pinakita niya po yung example of passive and active cooling. Next. The random access memory or RAM. RAM is the temporary working storage for data program that are being accessed by the central processing unit. Unlike the ROM or the read-only memory, RAM is a volatile memory, which means that the content are erased every time the computer is powered off. So kadalasan po sa mga techie, nagdadadag po sila ng mga RAM. Bakit? Para mapabilis daw po yung process ng CPU. Para pag nagbukas ka ng mga application, di siya nagahang. So karaniwan po, gumagamit po sila ng 6 GB RAM and above. Pero kung wala pa po tayo masyadong budget, so you can try naman po yung 4 GB. Then kung meron po tayong budget naman, dagdagan po natin yung ating mga RAM so that hindi po kayo magkaroon ng problem sa paglalaro ng mga application ng sabay-sabay. Tulad po ngayon, halimbawa nag-run po ako ng Google, nag-run din po ako ng PowerPoint, then yung audio processing pa. So yung kinakain RAM sa aking system is napakalakas. So ang gamit ko po ngayon is combination of 4 GB RAM and 2 GB RAM. So pwede po yun kasi meron po tayong RAM slots sa ating CPU and sa ating mga laptop naman po, meron po siyang built-in slot and meron pong isa pong extra na pwede niyong lagyan ng extra RAM. Okay, so example of RAM, ayan po. Yan po yung parang chip na pag nakita niyo po may mga nakadikit na para siyang mga memory stick or memory card. So adding more RAM in a computer enhance the system performance. For instance, more RAM increase the memory capacity of the computer to hold and process programs and files para hindi siya malag. So with less RAM, computer must swap data between RAM and the much slower hard drive. So minsan pag napansin niyo po pag mababa ang inyong RAM, mga ilang oras lang po, mabagal na po, or mabagal mag-respond yung ating mga computers. Next, the adapter cards. So the sound adapter, the NIC, the eSATA card, and the video adapter card. So iisa-isahin po natin ngayon yan. So adapter cards increase the functionality of a computer by adding controllers for specific devices or by replacing malfunctioning ports. Sound adapter. Sound adapter provides the audio capability. So dito, ito yung ginagamit para magkaroon ng power or magkaroon ng output ang ating mga speaker. Kung sa likod po ng CPU, makita niyo po yung mga saksakan natin na meron blue, red, and green po ata yung isa. Next, the network interface card or NIC. NIC connects a computer to a network using a network cable. Or mas kilala sa LAN or meron iba, UTP cable daw na may RJ45. So, yun po, NIC, sinasaksakan siya minsan ng yun nga po yung UTP cable or yung LAN cable. Or yung iba naman po nagsasasak na po kagad nung parang Wi-Fi dongle para iwas na daw po sa wired connection. Wireless NIC, yun nga po, wireless NIC connects a computer to a network using radio frequencies. Actually, karaniwan po yung mga laptop natin may built-in na po para ma-detect yung Wi-Fi. Sa computer naman po, if you want to detect a Wi-Fi, use Wi-Fi dongle. Kaya bumili kayo ng LAN cable na napakahaba. Next, video adapter. Video adapter provides video capability. So, yung iba po, merong tinatawag na video adapter na para to enhance the video. Then, meron ako tinatawag na isang graphics card or video card para to enhance your graphics. Kumbaga, even may built-in na po siya ang PC. Pwede pa natin enhance yung graphics niyan. And also, in use, kung may mahihigan mga gamers dito, video card, your GPU, yung halimbawa po yung GTX 1080 Ti, mga ganon. Then, yun po yung mga kinds of adapter na minsan nagpapabilis palalo sa ating mga computers. Storage devices. Some offer the ability to read and write data, while others only allow data to be accessed but not written. So, ayan, isa-isa natin yan yung hard disk drive, optical drive, solid state drive, tape drive, yung mga storage devices like flash drive, external drive, and etc. So data storage devices can be classified according to the media on which the data is stored: magnetic, like HDD or hard disk drive, and tape drives; solid state or optical drive. Okay, so magnetic media storage. One type of storage represents the binary values as magnetized or non-magnetized physical areas of magnetic media. So, ayan po example ng magnetic media storage. So, meron tayong sukat yung 3.5 inch, 2.5 inch, and 1.8 inch. So, mechanical systems are used to position and read the media. Kung mapapansin niyo po, yung bilog po dito, itong part na to, isang magnetic tape po siya, then parang meron ditong pin na nag-read. Kumbaga, kung babalikan po natin yung mga 80s or 90s, yung mga magnetic tape na sounds na piniplay sa tawag yun, parang sounds na pag nilagyan mo na magnetic tape, ipi-play niya. Yung meron din parang karayom. Hindi ko na po matandaan yung tawag. Pero after noon, lumabas yung mga magnetic tapes para sa cassette radio, yung naglaruan niyo sa mga bata, hinahatak yung ribbon. So HDDs are traditional magnetic disk devices that have been used for years. Their storage capacity ranges from gigabytes or GBs to terabytes or TBs. Their speed is measured in revolution per minute or RPM. Next, semiconductor storage. Solid state drive or SSD stores data as electronic charges in semiconductor flash memory. So, meron po tayong mga solid-state drive kind. Ito po, SSD 2.5 drive, SSD drive, SSD adapter card. Actually, solid-state drive is parang hard disk drive din. So, meron din, capacity siya for to store file, documents, important pictures, mga ganun, and videos. Okay. This makes SSDs much faster than magnetic HDDs or hard disk drive, sorry. Kumbaga para mas advanced na po siya and mas mabilis kaysa sa mga hard disk drives. Solid state drive is a storage capacity range from around 120 gigabytes. So, dito po, makikita nyo po sa ating picture yung mga SSD type. Then, yung ayan po, SSD 2.5, SSD M2 drive, SSD adapter card. So, SSDs have no moving parts, make no noise, and more energy efficient, and produce less heat than hard disk drives. So, mas advanced. Okay. So because of SSDs have no moving parts to fail, they are considered to be more reliable than hard disk drives. So yun nga po, kung mag-upgrade po kayo na nyo, so you can try the SSD kesa po sa mga HDD. Next, so SSDs comes in three form factors. So the disk drive form factor, these are similar to a hard disk drive in which the semiconductor memory is in a closed package that can be mounted in a computer cases like a hard disk drive. So meron po siyang sizes na 2.5, 3.5, and 1.8 inches. So next, expansion cards. This plugs directly into the motherboard and mount into the computer case like other expansion cards. The M-SATA or M.2 modules. This package, they may use a special socket. M.2 is a standard for computer expansion cards. It is a family of standards that specify the physical aspect of expansion cards, such as connectors and dimension. So makikita niyo po natin sa gilid, meron po itong M2 drive and the SSD adapter card. Next, the video ports. So kadalasan nakikita mo na sa likod ng mga computer, yung saksakan ng VGA, DVMI, and syempre yung HDMI. So a video ports connects a monitor cable to a computer. Video ports and monitor cable transfer analog signals, digital signals, or both. Computers are digital devices that create digital signals. The digital signals are sent to the graphic card where they are transmitted through a cable to a display. So sila po yung parang connector para magkaroon ng display ang ating mga monitor. Halimbawa, VGA cable connected to the computer and to the monitor, connected to the CPU and to the monitor, and they will output. And sa laptop po, halimbawa, we will use HDMI para magkaroon tayo ng output sa ating mga projectors or sa mga smart TV or sa ating TV. So DVI, Digital Visual Interface, is a usually white and consists of as many as 24 pins, 3 rows of 8 pins for digital signals, up to 4 pins for analog signals, and a flat pin called a ground bar. So, bukod sa VGA port, meron po tayong DVI port, used for connecting lang din po the CPU to monitor. Then, meron din naman po CPU to projector or laptop to projector. Pero karaniwan po, yung DVI can convert to the VGA or to a HDMI connector. Kaya kapasok kadalasan po ngayon, ang gamit na lang po masyado ay yung blue for the VGA cable. So ayan po siya yung sample ng DVI. Mapapansin niyo po, may nakahiwalay dyan na parang flat for the ground bar. Then ito po yung tinatawag natin mga 24 pins. Actually, hindi lang po masyadong kita pero 24 pins po. Then, syempre, display port, designed to connect the high-end graphics or cable PCs and displays, as well as home theater equipment and display. Or mas kilalas tawag na para siyang style of HDMI. Okay. Next. So, ito na po siya. Yung sasabihin natin kanina, yung High Definition Multimedia Interface or the HDMI, specifically developed for high-definition televisions. However, its digital feature also make it a good candidate for computers. So ngayon, hindi na rin po uso yung paggamit mismo madalas ng VGA. Makita po natin may mga gumagamit na ng HDMI. Karaniwang gumagamit din po yung iba ng extended monitor or extended screen. So sa extended screen nila, makikita natin yung isa nakakonect sa VGA, tapos yung isa nakakonect sa HDMI. So karaniwan sa mga flat screen TV, may connector po na po siya ng HDMI. So, pwede na po magamit yung ating mga TV bilang monitor ng ating computer. Or kung gusto niyo mag-play ng movie from your laptop, use the HDMI cable, then connect to your TV, and then ayan na, mas isa ng malaking projector. So, ayan po, example of HDMI. Next, Video Graphics Array. Has 3 rows and 15 pins. It's also sometimes referred to as DE15 or HD15 connector. Ayan po yung VGA. Kadalas nakita sa likod ng mga computers, yung kulay blue. Next, Personal System 2 or PS2. Dati po uso pa po itong mga PS2. Ginagamit po sa ating mga keyboards and mouse connection. So a PS2 port connects a keyboard or a mouse to a computer. The PS2 port is a 6-pin mini-DIN female connector. The connector for the keyboard and mouse are often colored differently. So makita po natin siya yung kulay green and parang violet. If the ports are not color-coded, look up a small figure of a mouse or a keyboard next to each port. So ayan po yung sample nun. Ayan, kulay green or parang ibang, parang shade of blue style. Then violet. So network port, also known as an RJ45 or the 8P8C port, has 8 pins and connect devices to a network. So RJ45, ayan po yung kadalasan natin or nagbibigay sa atin ng signal or internet. Iba po ang RJ45 sa connector natin sa mga telephone. So makikita na po yung color-coded 8 pins sa ating mga likod ng computer, then connect to a LAN cable with 8 din siyang 8 color wires. Pag binuksan niyo po yun, then kailangan lang po ng stripping tool para makabit. Then connect it to your modem or sa internet niyo po, then to the computer. So the connection speed depends on the type of network port. The maximum length of an internet network cable is 100 meter or 328 feet. Pag lumabas na po dyan, it's either napakabagal or hindi na masyado na-detect yung internet connection. Next, the Universal Serial Bus or the USB. Iba po ang USB sa flash drive. Karaniwan po kasi nalito sa flash drive and USB. USB is a standard interface that connects the peripheral devices to a computer. USB devices are hot swappable, which means that users can connect and disconnect the devices while the computer is powered on. Ayan po. Ito po yung pinakasaksakan hindi po yung pinakasinasaksak kasi yun po yung flash drive. Then ito po, ayan po yung parang may butas, yun na po yung natating USB. Audio and game port. Audio port connect audio devices to the computer. Analog ports typically includes a line in a port to connect to external source like stereo system, micro port, and line out ports to connect the speaker or headphone. The game ports connect to a joystick or MIDI interface devices. So ayan po. So audio ports and the game port. Okay, audio, ayan po yung color. Makikita na po natin may blue, may red, and may green. Okay. Next, the hierarchies of a software technology in our computer. So, hindi porket alam natin yung loob ng isang computer, syempre, kailangan natin malaman yung mga softwares inside of it. Yung tatawag natin ng application and system software. Okay, so what is a computer software? So, meron po tayo tatawag na ito po, halimbawa, the hardware. The hardware is inside, Isingin natin Ang hardware ay merong operating system. Then, ang operating system ay naglalaman ng application software and then other system software. So, ngayon, iikot lang po yan. Paano iikot? So, sa isang hardware, may operating system. Then, ang operating system ino-operate ng tao or the human users. Then, the human users will use the application software and it will process by the operating system and then output by the other system software. Next. So, system softwares. Yan po yung mga OS, device driver, utility programs, data backup programs, control a particular type of device that is attached to a computer. Pag sinabi natin application software, ito yung mga ini-install natin, yung mga custom bit like Microsoft Office, and yung mga package softwares. So, halimbawa, nag-install tayo ng Photoshop, so type of application software. In terms of system software, halimbawa, OS, operating system, like Kali Linux, Windows, Macintosh, or etc. Then, sa application, iba pa pong sample ay yung mga Microsoft Office natin, yung browser po natin, yung Photoshop, and so forth. So, Windows desktop environment. So, let's try, ano ba yung laman ng ating desktop pag binuksan natin ang ating computer? So, halimbawa, nag-open tayo ng computer. So, ito na po ang lalabas na interface. So, sa isa nating interface, makikita po natin yung start button. Siyempre, meron tayong search bar. Yung mga different application natin dito. So the taskbar or the task manager, makita po natin pag ni-left click, sorry, right click. Then, yung mga iba pang part pa po, such as yung mga notifications, yung date and time, siyempre yung connection pa sa internet, yung sound or the speaker output, and siyempre yung language use. Okay, balik po tayo dito. So, ito pa po yung ibang part in terms of computer literacy. Pero yung iba na-discuss natin dito kanina, kaya tatalunan na po natin. So, nabilang dito, information technology, any computer-based tool that people use to work with information and support the information and information processing needs of an organization. Hardware consists of the physical devices associated with the computer. So, yun yung nakikita po natin. Software is a set of instructions that the hardware execute to carry out the specific task. So, tulad nung kanina, computer is an electronic devices. Then, ano yung mga laman po niya, yung mga hardware, the CPU, the primary storage, secondary storage, input devices, output devices, and communication devices. So, tulad nga po kanina, CPU, the actual hardware that interpret and execute the program software instruction and coordinate how all the other hardware devices work together. So, the CPU contains two main parts. The control unit, or interpret the software instructions and literally tells the other hardware devices what to do based on the software instruction. Next, arithmetic logic unit, or the ALU, performs all arithmetic operation, for example, the addition and subtraction, and all the logic operations such as sorting and comparing numbers. Okay, next po. So the numbers of CPU cycles per second determines the speed of CPU, megahertz, and gigahertz. So megahertz, the number of millions of CPU cycles per second. Gigahertz, the number of billions of CPU cycles per second. So central processing unit, napakalawak pa rin po. Di ba sabi ko po kanina, language po na ginagamit is a binary language of 0 and 1. So computers are digital, meaning that the data they process, whether it be a text, sound, graphics, or video, is first converted into a digital numeric value. So only the digits 0 and 1 are used. Only 2 digits are used because they can be easily represented electronically by a circuit in the computer being either off or on. The numbering of system is referred to, nga po kanina, binary language. Then meron po siyang bit and byte. So bit, each of or on digital value. The smallest unit of data handled by a computer. Bit is short for binary digit. Next, byte. A group of 8 bits can be thought of as a character, letter, number, symbol, mark of punctuation, space, and etc. Okay, so kanina po, pinakita natin yung RAM is a volatile or a temporary primary storage. Pag pinatay po natin yung ating computer, hindi siya gumagana, and all the memory na ginamit ni RAM noon ay mawala or may erase. Volatile, temporary. Okay, ROM. Hindi ko nabanggit ito kanina. So ROM, read-only memory, contains permanent programs or data recorded in the memory by manufacturer. ROM is used to store the instruction set of computer such as BIOS, Basic Input-Output System. So BIOS, yun po yung pag nagpo-format tayo lumalabas or gusto nyo magkaroon ng safe boot dahil may na-damage na inyong file. So kaya nakita po siyang black and white or black or blue style or blue-gray na para po siyang system style din. Then we will control it for formatting, for boot, and etc. It retains its content. When the power of the computer is turned off, it is non-volatile. So, ibig sabihin, ano doon lang din yun, hindi siya nawawala. Data or programs in ROM can be reached but not changed. Many special purpose computers used in automobiles, appliances, etc. So, use a small amount of ROM. So, makikita niyo po yung mga microchips sa mga washing machine, sa ating mga appliances, yung mga remote control natin sa bahay, yung mga remote ng TV, or yung mga laruan na remote control, and other appliances. Okay. So storage devices consist of equipment designed to store large volume of data, long-term storage, referred to as secondary storage, permanent or non-volatile. So kanina binanggit ko lang yung gigabyte and terabyte, pero meron pa po tayong iba't ibang secondary devices. So byte, abbreviation is B, number of byte is 1 byte, can hold 1 character of data. Then after byte, dumating po si kilobyte or KB. So it can hold 1024 characters or about a half of a double space typewritten page. Next, MB or megabytes can hold approximately 768 pages of typed text. Then after MB is the gigabyte, approximately 786,432,000 pages of text or equivalent to 500 sheets of paper is approximately 2 inches. So this represents a stack of paper of 262 feet high. So byte, kilobyte to megabyte to gigabyte. And then ngayon meron na po tayong terabyte. So terabyte, this represents a stack of typewritten pages almost 51 miles high. Ganun kataas. Then after the terabyte is the petabyte or PB, and exabyte and zettabyte. Pero ngayon kadalasan na nakikita ko pa lang ay terabytes. So ano pa po ibang kinds of secondary storage? So other kinds of secondary storage are hard drives. Okay, yung kanina pinaka po namin may mga magnetic disks sa loob. So capacity is external as much as 2 terabytes, internal as much as 750 gigabytes. So meron tayong mga optical drives like CD drive, DVD, combo. Paano yung combo? CD and DVD drive. Meron pa tayong tatawag na writable, CD writable, or meron po yung CDR lang. Meron po Blu-ray drive. Memory cards. So SD, yung nabibili po natin ginagamit sa mga phone, compact flash, memory stick sa mga, alam ko, ang isang memory stick gumagamit ay ang PSP. Then USB drive such as pen drive, flash drives, jump drive, thumb drive. So meron po tayong matatawag na external drive and yung composed of 1 tera. Now, dito po sa mga pictures, makita nyo po yung example of hard drive, portable hard drive, flash drive, Blu-ray, flash memory card, Blu-ray or Blu-ray disc, kanina nakita rin to, DVD, DVD-L, and CD, etc. So tulad ko kanina, pinakita lang po dito yung input devices. So nabanggit po natin kanina yung keyboard, yung mouse, mic. Ito po, is another of input devices, yung microphone. So nagproduce tayo ng voice. So narinig nung microphone, then it will process, nag-output siya ngayon. Digital camera or webcam or digicam. Another kind is a barcode scanner. Barcode scanner ginagamit sa mga grocery, biometric input devices, yung mga pang-scan ng mga RFID, yung biometric na pang face recognition, eye recognition, and so on and so forth. So output devices, binanggit na po natin kanina yan. Yung mga sample of monitor. Ayan, yung cathode ray tube, the CRT is almost phased out. Meron tayong mga printers, laser printer, inkjet, plotters, and speakers. Communication devices. So equipment, mas tawag sa modem, used to send information and receive it from one location to another. So meron tayong tatawag na dial-up access, broadband access such as cable, magamit ng fiber optic services, digital subscriber like DSL, and satellite version, and the wireless. So, computer category, meron po tayong tawag na mga portable computers or personal computers, mobile devices, personal digital assistant or the PDA, laptop, syempre, tablet, workstation, meron po tayong mga mini computers, mainframe, and supercomputers. So, two categories of softwares. Yung sinabi ko kanina, yung system and application software. In short, system controls how the various pieces of hardware work together along with the application software. And yung application software naman po consists of program that tell a computer how to produce information. Okay, regarding of application software. So madalas tayo nag-install ng different type application. And then, karaniwan sa atin, hindi na binabasa yung natawag natin na End Users License Agreement or EULA. Actually, EULA is very important. Dahil ano doon lahat ng ina-access ng application na yon in between your PC, especially sa your phone. Nag-install tayo ng mga different types of application. Merong EULA pero napakahaba, hindi mo binasa. Tapos magugulat ka lang afterwards, napakadaming naka-install. And then, napakadami niyang permission na ginagalaw. O, halimbawa, simpleng game. Halimbawa yung Tetris Battle or kahit anong game na Tetris style. Makikita mo na lang bakit ina-access niya yung contact details. Bakit ina-access niya yung storage devices details mo. Bakit niya ina-access yung call, yung message. Di ba nakakapagtaka? Simpleng game, pero ang daming ina-access. Pero wala kang alam dahil hindi mo binasa yung lang lumabas before installation of the game or any kinds of softwares in your PC, in your mobile phones, and other devices. Okay, next, utilities. So, types of utility software. Number one is installation wizard and uninstall wizard. So, pag nag-set up tayo ng mga application software, pag-run po yan, we click install para mag-process, then click next. Ulitin ko po, wag laging next. Basahin na muna bago mag-install. Baka mamaya, sa huli magsisi, mayroon na palang ina-access na important document sa inyo. File compression utilities, like yung mga WinRAR, kumbaga kino-compress yung malaking file. Disk cleanup, disk defragment, scan disk for error checker. Siyempre, system restore. Always, maglagay po kayo ng time, mag-alert po kayo ng time na maglagay po kayo ng mga system backup. In case of emergency, the system restore which can help you. May ma-delete ka man, may ma-virus ka man, nagkaroon ng system restore, possible, yung important files na makuha mo pa. Meron po tayong natawag na backup or anti-spyware, antivirus. So, different antivirus. Actually, ang suggest ko na lang po, you can use the built-in, yung Windows Defender. Kesa maglagay pa kayo ng ibang antivirus. The next one is the type of application software, browser, database. So, browsers, typo po, database management, desktop publishing, email, games, entertainment, presentation graphics, spreadsheet, word processing, accounting software. So, yun na po yung mga different types pa ng application software. Okay, balik po tayo. So, ito po, example of browser. Then, other type of application software, makita po natin dito. Ayan po, halimbawa yung mga Photoshop. Siyempre, yung ating ginagamit po, yung mga Excel, Microsoft Office 20 tools, yung mga OneNote, PowerPoint, Publishers, and etc. Okay, balik po tayo sa ating PowerPoint. Okay? Sa Windows desktop environment, may tatawag po tayong start menu. Ayan po yung start menu. Quick launch or quick launch, yung taskbar, and the system tray. Pinakita na po natin isa-isa kanina. So, actually, yun lang po yung pangkaraniwang laman in terms of computer literacy. So, kahit na paano, nadagdagan sana po yung knowledge nyo in terms of use of computer. Tulad ngayon, kailangan talaga natin mag-adopt ng digital transformation dahil sa pandemic, naapektuhan po yung ating pagtuturo na face-to-face. So now, this is the new normal, or tatawag natin blended or online learning. So I hope you can catch up with tukol sa information na to. And I hope magamit niyo po ito sa pagtuturo. And the knowledge ay nadagdagan yung inyong, kumbaga, from basic, kahit na paano lumaas yung level niya into advanced or super advanced. So, if you have questions or meron po kayong mga tanong or meron kayong gustong malaman in terms of computers or computer problems, pwede nyo po akong i-message directly sa aking FB account or sa aking BulSU account. Or, actually, madali naman ako makontakt. Just ping me on my Facebook. And then, hanggang kaya, matutulungan namin kayo. So, napakalawak po ng computer literacy. Hindi lang po ito mga basic like sa yung input, output devices. Napakalawak pa po. Meron ba po dyan yung paano pagka halimbawa nagka-problems, mga different types of problems in computer. Paano pag di gumana yung RAM ko, paano pag di gumana yung internet ko, paano pag di gumana yung mga audio cards ko. So, if you have problems, marami po pwedeng tumulong. So, you can ping me or other, iba po namin mga faculty to help you in your problem. So, I hope, ulitin ko po, sana may natutunan po kayo and sana, kumbaga, makuha niyo po yung topic na to and ma-i-adapt at mailagay niyo po or magamit niyo sa inyong pagtuturo sa paparating na semester. And I hope yung mga iba nating faculties, meron po kayong natutunan between this webinar session. So, again, this webinar session is all about computer literacy. Then, yung isa ko pong faculty, ang tinok naman po niya is internet literacy. So, kahit paano madagdagan niya po kayo sa information in terms of using computer and internet to apply it in digital literacy.
The webinar is already done. For the assessment, please proceed to your browsers and type bit.ly/assessment_cl. Thank you for listening.
So, ayan po yung ating assessment link, bit.ly/assessment_cl. Pwede ko po kung meron po kayong questions, pwede nyo po akong i-message sa aking FB or sa aking email. So, I hope meron po kayong natutunan. And if you want to conduct a training for your faculty or for your organization, message lang po ako if you need. Again, this is Sir John Michael Galison from BulSU and from CIT and under the EC department. And I hope natututunan niyo po kayo ng kahit paano in terms of computer literacy. Once again, thank you and see you again in my webinar.